From my experience of trading and from working with people, it seems to me that potentially the biggest issue that everybody has in their trading is developing very strong attachment to the outcome. And what ends up happening is if you're in this situation, like you need to lay off for the day, or the day's just not going your way, and you're just really forcing it, and you force it and you force it and you force it, and you just keep doing bad things, and you are very attached to the idea that you need a positive outcome and that you need a winning trade. And when you focus all of that attention on the P&L or the outcome, and you have that strong attachment to it, you end up getting very far away from what you want. When you want that green P&L, you just go farther and farther away from it until you blow out your eval, until you blow out your account, and you can't even trade anymore. And this interesting dynamic, if we think about it, like what exactly happened? Well, the market wasn't setting up, so I felt impatient. I started rushing stuff, or I took that loss and then I got mad. And if we think about why were you impatient? Why did you get mad? If we can drill these things down, we can come to this common idea that you are just very strongly attached to the outcome. And this isn't a dynamic that happens in trading. This is a dynamic that happens in life. It happens with people's health. It happens with people's relationships. If you're a guy and you're getting out there and, lions got to eat. But if you're going out there and trying to date somebody or meet a woman, and you're out in a social setting and you just lock onto somebody and you just start obsessing with the idea of getting this person home, you're going home alone. And the reason that this dynamic happens is because when you start getting obsessed with the outcome or with the goal, you lose sight of the process. You can't be obsessed about the goal and obsessed about the process at the same time. The process is what's going to get you to the goal. And so when you start obsessing about the goal, the process goes out the window, and then you just get farther and farther and farther away from your goal. You start, in this situation, if you're in a bar trying to meet somebody, if you're just like obsessed with the wrong thing, the natural flow of just finding out if you have a connection with somebody and being charming and being, all that goes out the window. And when you're trading and you start, focusing on that P&L, the idea of identifying a high quality entry or a high quality trade idea, or getting a precise entry, or managing an open position, or keeping your risk in check, these processes just completely go out the window. And having that ability to release the attachment is what has to happen. And it will happen one way or the other. If you have an insanely strong attachment to something like your P&L, the attachment will be released. Either you're going to do it, or the market's going to do it for you by forcing you out. And then when your account's gone, well, the attachment's released because now you can't focus and obsess about the P&L anymore because it's not even an option to keep trading. And this dynamic is very interesting. It's very important to identify that it's happening. And if you don't identify that it's happening, I think this is what causes a lot of traders to just feel like the markets are out to get them, or to feel like there's like this demonic force that just has them in their clutches, that every time they start to make a little bit of progress, they seem to just keep getting swept back. And they don't understand that they're getting caught up in this dynamic of just focusing and obsessing about the wrong thing, throwing the process out the window, and then getting farther and farther away from their goal. And to talk about things that are easier said than done, releasing attachment, how do you become unattached? This is quite literally the million-dollar question. And as we move through the markets, this has to be the way we move, where we separate the P&L, we separate ourselves, and we just take all of that energy and all of that attention, all of that obsession, and we put that onto the process. But again, how do you do that? And it's very difficult. I think the best thing you can do if you want to be detached to the outcome is try to be born silver spoon cool, because if you got tons of money, that's a great way to just be released from the outcome. And if that's not an option for you, you got to be a little bit creative with it. And what I would really, really suggest is figuring out, okay, if this is what you have available to you. Let's say you're in a position where you understand, like, I can apply for, this many, 3 evaluation accounts, and I can get these funded, I can get these turned on, and this is all I got. Okay, get 1, get 2, trade 1, keep 1 on the back burner, and just go off of that. So if something happens to this one, you're fine. You have something on the back burner. And this might not be like, well, Korbs, if I only have 1 evaluation account, like these numbers don't really make sense, I'm not going to get to my goals, yada, yada, yada. But listen, recognize that it's extremely hard to come from the dirt when you have nothing and to try to make something from yourself. You have no leverage. And our good buddy Ray Dalio tells us, don't mistake things the way that they are for the way that you wish they were. And if you are in a position where you don't have any leverage, it is going to be hard, and you're going to have to do things a certain way. But the alternative is just stay crazy attached to the outcome and keep putting yourself in positions where this trade has to work out. And good luck to you. I've seen that movie play out way too many times. I know exactly how it ends every time. And so you have to be creative with it. I don't know, anybody's situation, but whatever your situation is, think about how can I put myself in a position where I can be detached, and take all of your eggs out of one basket is a really, really good way to start.